Today we are going to start with S3 bucket. So what is S3? Why we are going to require S3? What are the properties of S3? We are going to learn that thing. So what is S3? So S3 is a simple storage service. So what are the things we require in a computer? One is storage, second is CPU and memory. Combining these three things, we can run a computer. This is the primary thing a computer required. We are starting with storage. So if you want to work on Amazon, if you want to work on anywhere, first of all you have to bring your data there. Take example when you are going in Cyber Cafe and you want to do create a PPT. You might need to create a PPT and store it somewhere. If you want to download some files, you require first of all storage. Hard disk is the primary thing which you require to store the data. So before moving to any service, before going to use a computer, the first thing is we have to select the storage. How much storage I required. Okay, where I can store the data. How my data is storing. That's all things is important to learn. Everybody has used Google Drive. What we can do on the Google Drive? We can upload our data. We can put any file on Google Drive. Similar to Google Drive, Amazon has created a storage facility, so storage service. So this is called S3. So what is S3? S3 is a simple storage service. So Amazon Simple Storage Service is an object storage service that offer industry leading scalability, data availability, security, and the performance. Just like the Google Drive, you can access the data anywhere in the world. You just have to log in and you can access the data. Similar to Google Drive, we have S3 bucket. Here we can upload the data, we can download the data, we can put any type of data. S3 provide developer and IT team with secure, durable, highly scalable object storage. How many of you has faced that the data on the Google Drive has been deleted by its own? I'm using Google Drive from last 10 years. I didn't think I faced this issue. Anybody has found that you uploaded any document in Google Drive and it automatically got deleted? So that is a word called durability. How my data is there? How secure is my data? Is your data lost from Google Drive? Similarly, Amazon has created the S3 storage for you, where you can upload unlimited amount of data, and that data will be always available, and the data will not be lost. It is easy to use with simple web service interface, and it allows you to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere in the world. Safe place to store your file. It's a object storage. Data is spread across the multiple devices facility. So today we are learning S3. So in S3, I talk about it's a storage device. In S3, I'm talking it's a object storage. What is meant by object storage? Before that, I want to make you understand what is block storage. So when you write the data is written something like this. Here, small blocks will be created. Okay, small blocks will be created. You can't see there. So let's say this is your hard disk, and here different sectors will be created. And when you write the data will be done in small blocks, or sometimes people call it chunk. Okay. So all the data which is written in your local hard disks are stored in a block format. That's why the local hard disk, all the hard disks which are attached to our machines, in our local machines, are called as block storage. What is the advantage of block storage? You can install your OS, your application, API, your application, softwares. You can install anything. You can store the data. You can do two things: store data, storage, and second, install your application. On block storage, you can store the data and you can install the application. What means installing the application? You can run your OS, you can install any software like VLC player, Microsoft Office, any software which you required, Chrome. You can install any software. You can install the OS. You can install OS. OS means operating system, just like Windows, Linux, Ubuntu. These are the operating system. So on block storage, I can install anything and I can store the data as well. But can you install any application in Google Drive? Can you install any application in Google Drive? Can I install my software on Google Drive? No. Why? Because it's not a block storage. There is the data is not stored on some single device. To run an operating system, to run an application, everything need to store on a single device, single storage. Yes or no? अगर आपका OS रन करना है, आपको अगर विंडोज रन करना है, सारा का सारा विंडो मेरे को इस स्टोरेज में यहाँ पे अज्यूम करो यहाँ पे स्टोर किया हुआ है, पूरा विंडोज का डेटा जितना 4 GB 5 GB सारा यहाँ पे स्टोर किया हुआ है, तभी तो विंडोज चलेगा. बट दिस डजंट वर्क इन क्लाउड, इन S3 एटलीस्ट. गूगल ड्राइव पे भी आप इंस्टॉल नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि आपका डेटा एक जगह स्टोर नहीं होता है. योर डेटा इज नॉट स्टोर इन अ सिंगल लोकेशन. It will be stored across multiple devices. That's why Amazon says it's a object storage. That's why it's a object storage, because you can't install your application and your data is not stored as a single place. Block storage means you can install your application and it will be an actual hard disk. But object storage, it is not a hard disk, it's a virtual space, just like your Google Drive. The data is not stored together, so you can't install any application, you can't install any software, you can't install your OS. So what is S3? S3 is a object storage. I can put anything on OS, on S3. मैं चाहूँ तो OS की फाइल भी रख सकता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं रख सकता, बट मैं उस पर कोई कंप्यूटर नहीं चला पाऊंगा. मैं कुछ भी रख सकता हूँ S3 में. मैं S3 में सब कुछ रख सकता हूँ. जस्ट लाइक गूगल ड्राइव पे मैं फाइल फॉर्मेट, आई कैन पुट एनीथिंग. ओके, MP3, MK4, MKV, जो भी फाइल फॉर्मेट, कुछ भी रख सकता हूँ. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम विद द फाइल फॉर्मेट. यू कैन पुट एनीथिंग, बट आई कांट रन एनीथिंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट. मतलब अगर मैं चाहूँ कि उसके ऊपर मैं कंप्यूटर अटैच करके रन करने की कोशिश करूँ, वो नहीं पॉसिबल है. इसलिए बेसिकली एप्लीकेशन होते हैं, राइट. Previously when Google Drive was launched, initial days, मतलब couple of years back, हम लोग वहाँ पे कोई भी फाइल ओपन नहीं कर पाते थे, याद है? डाउनलोड ही करना पड़ता था. Nowadays हम थोड़ी फाइल्स ओपन कर सकते हैं, couple of फाइल्स जो भी सपोर्टेड है. सारी फाइल्स ओपन अभी भी नहीं कर सकते. वैसे ही S3 में कि मैं फाइल ओपन नहीं कर सकता वहाँ पे, क्योंकि वहाँ पे कोई OS नहीं है. इस प्योर स्टोरेज, S3 इज प्योर स्टोरेज. मैं वहाँ पे सब कुछ रख सकता हूँ, जितना डेटा चाहूँ उतना रख सकता हूँ. बट उसके ऊपर वो मैं चाहूँ कि अगर टेक्स्ट फाइल है, मैं रीड कर लूँ क्लाउड के अंदर ही, S3 के अंदर डायरेक्ट रीड कर लूँ, वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं. क्योंकि रीड करने के लिए मुझे OS चाहिए या मुझे टेक्स्ट एडिटर चाहिए ना. अब मैं नोटपैड चाहिए रीड करने के लिए. यू हैव टू डाउनलोड दैट फाइल to any server. It can be your local machine or it can be EC2. We'll see that. Okay, then only you can access the file. So I talked about data centers, right? I talk about availability zone. So this we will study in the theory now. So this is a region. So we have multiple region. We have 22, more than 20 region right now in Amazon. Now you can put your data anywhere in the world. You have to select in which region in which region I want to keep my data. Then what will happen? Your data, we have availability zone, and we talk about that they are connected with each other for backup purposes. All these availability zones are connected with each other with very high internet speed, ultra low latency, and they are backup of each other. एक दूसरे का बैकअप भी काम करते हैं. So when you upload the data, when you upload your data in S3 bucket, your data will be pushed to one of the availability zone. Your data will be uploaded to one of the availability zone. Availability zone मतलब actual data centers. जो actual data centers है ना computers, वहाँ पे upload होगा. Then it will be replicated back to other availability zone as well. So आपका S3 में जो data होगा minimum 3 copies होगी real में. Whenever you upload a data in S3, there will be minimum 3 copies. क्यों? Let's say this ये availability zone down हो गया. ये डाउन हो गया मतलब कुछ कुछ नेचुरल क्लाइमेटीज आ गई, या इंटरनेट का इश्यू आ गया, पावर लॉस हो गया. स्टिल यू वांट योर डेटा, राइट? Amazon ये थोड़ी बोलेगा सॉरी सर अभी क्लाइमेट इश्यू आ गया, मेरा डेटा अवेलेबल नहीं है. विल यू एक्सेप्ट दैट थिंग? So what Amazon will do, if this is not available, they will reroute you to the other availability zone. वो इंटरनली है. अब बाय चांस ये भी डाउन चला गया, still you have one more backup. So that's why Amazon keep your data in 3 availability zone. So in the worst case, 2 availability zone goes down, 2 AZs goes down, still you can access your data. So your data will be stored in that different data centers. और ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने अगर 4 फाइल अपलोड करी, all 4 files will be in the same storage. मतलब एक्चुअल तो स्टोरेज ही होगा उनके पीछे, उनके पास भी, पर चारों की चारों फाइल एक ही स्टोरेज में होगी जरूरी नहीं है. देयर कैन बी 10 मशीन. Amazon के पास 10 मशीन है मान लो. एक रैक है, ये रैक है, मैंने रैक बताया था, कंप्यूटर्स, ये सब स्टोरेज है. एक फाइल यहाँ पे अपलोड हो सकती है, एक फाइल यहाँ पे अपलोड हो सकती है, एक फाइल यहाँ पे अपलोड हो सकती है, चौथी फाइल यहाँ पे अपलोड हो सकती है. नाउ कैन यू रन ओएस इन दिस केस? अगर मैं पूरा ओएस अपलोड कर दूं, मैं रन कर पाऊंगा क्या एक ओएस इस केस में, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम में? दिस इज कॉल्ड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम हियर आई कैन कोई भी मैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल कर पाऊंगा क्या? अगर मैंने अपलोड कर भी दिया तो मैं चला पाऊंगा क्या? क्योंकि देखो ना पूरा डेटा अलग अलग जगह पे है, तो डेटा फैच करने में इतना टाइम लग जाएगा. क्योंकि ओएस को या आपका जो एप्लीकेशन है उसको हर चीज रैम पे अपलोड करना है, राइट? ये आपको सबको पता है ना, योर ओएस इज लोडेड ऑन योर रैम, राइट? व्हाई वी रिक्वायर रैम? व्हाई कांट वी डायरेक्टली ऑपरेट ऑन ब्लॉक स्टोरेज? because RAM are much more faster as compared to normal storage. Yes or no? Our RAM is have a much higher speed as compared to read and write from our local machine. हार्ड डिस्क से रीड एंड राइट नहीं करते हम लोग, हम पूरा का पूरा ओएस हमारे रैम पे अपलोड कर लेते हैं. तो बार बार जो भी डेटा है, आपको पता है ना सबको कि ओएस चलता कैसे है रियल वर्ल्ड में, कि जब आप शटडाउन करते हो, पता है ना रैम बंद हो जाता, रैम पे स्टोरेज होता, किसी को पता है रैम और रोम का फर्क? याद है, स्कूल में पढ़ाया गया था. What actually means, होता कैसा है, ये आपकी हार्ड डिस्क है एचडी, यहाँ पे आपने पूरा अपना वो इंस्टॉल किया होता है, विंडोज या एनी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, सो वी कॉल इट ओएस. बट आपका जो ओएस होता है उसको बहुत ज्यादा स्पीड में काम करना होता है, बिकॉज यू राइट नाउ आपके विंडोज के अंदर कितनी सारी एप्लीकेशन चल रही है, क्रोम चल रहा है, पीपीटी चल रहा है, कितनी सारी चीजें चल रही है. तो मैं बार बार जाके मैं रीड एंड राइट नहीं कर सकता हार्ड डिस्क से. तो उसके लिए हमने क्या किया, एक रैम बनाया. तो अगर मेरा ओएस मान लो 3 GB का है, तो आई विल लोड फुल 3 GB ऑन माई रैम. मैं पूरा 3 GB अपना रैम पे अपलोड कर देता हूँ. एंड रैम इज वेरी फास्ट. रैम आर डिजाइन टू ऑपरेट वेरी फास्ट. तभी तो जब हम विंडोज ओपन करते हैं ना, वो 2-3 मिनट लेता है ना, 2-5 मिनट लेता है, वो यही कर रहा होता है. जब आप विंडोज स्टार्ट करते हो, पूरा का पूरा ओएस आपका रैम पे अपलोड करता है, बट एज सुन एज यू द पावर इज टर्मिनेटेड, रैम विल गो। जितना भी डेटा रैम पे है ना, जैसे पावर बंद किया ना, रैम से सारा डेटा उड़ जाता है। तभी तो जैसे आपने आपका पावर बटन गया, बैटरी गया, तो आपका पूरा पूरा विंडो वहीं के वहीं गायब हो जाता है। होता है विंडो में, जो अगर तुमने कोई भी चीज सेव नहीं करी है तो वो हर चीज गायब हो जाती है, क्योंकि सेव करने के लिए हार्ड डिस्क पे करना पड़ता है आपको। दिस इज टेम्पररी, दिस इज टेम्पररी। बेसिक्स ऑफ S3 object based, we talk about that the data is stored in S3 bucket is the object storage. File size, a single file, what is the file size can I upload to my S3? So the file size can start from 0 byte and it can go to 5 terabyte. Single file, huh? It's not S, it's a single file. Okay, single file can as big as 5 terabyte. There is unlimited storage available in S3 bucket. There is no upper limit. In Google Drive also you can upload any amount of data, but first 15 GB is free, then it's chargeable, but you can store unlimited there. Similarly in S3 you can store unlimited amount of data. If you want to upload 100 GB, you can upload 100 GB. If you want to upload petabytes of data, there are many companies which are uploading their data on S3 bucket and the volume can go up to petabytes. I will give you two examples. Hotstar and Netflix are the two companies who are hosting their application on Amazon. Behind the scene, they are using Amazon. Think about that. How much data does Netflix has? How much data Hotstar has? And even Amazon Prime, they have so much movies and series available on Prime as well. So they are also storing the data on S3 bucket. The file are stored in buckets. So what is bucket basically? So just like in your local drive, we have C drive, D drive, E drive, right? We have multiple drives. Why we create drive? Inside drive we can store the file, right? It's a hierarchy type of system. So to store any data in S3, we have to create buckets. Just like before storing the data in your local, you have to create your drive, right? C drive, D drive, E drive. After creating the drive, you are uploading your data. Similarly, here you can see there are so many buckets are there. These are all our buckets. Inside the bucket, you can upload the data. You can upload the data. So files are stored in buckets similar to drive. You can assume bucket as a drive. Now, what is the name convention? S3 name should be universal namespace. Means whatever the S3 bucket you are creating here, whatever the S3 bucket you are creating here, this should be unique. This all bucket name should be unique, not in my account, but across all Amazon account, just like username. So these are one type of file form name. This is a name of one file, or this is a URL of one file in S3 bucket, and this is another type of namespace of the same file. So we have two type of namespace. One is HTTP namespace, and other is S3 namespace. Okay, you can see S3 namespace, and other is HTTP or object URL. We have different namespace. When you upload a data in S3, HTTP 200 status code is successfully for a successful upload through command line. How we are communicating with each other? मैं आपसे communicate कैसे कर रहा हूँ? We have to select a language. I am communicating with you on either in English or Hindi. Okay. So this is one person and this is another person. Both can communicate in Hindi language. So अगर ये इसको कुछ बोल रहा है, सिंपल कि आज बारिश हो रही है, टुडे इट्स गोइंग टू रेन, तो इसको अगर ये बोल रहा है तो इसको समझ आएगा, तो ये क्या कहेगा? हाँ सही है, राइट? तो they are communicating, and as soon as this person is sending something to this, he or she will communicate back to this, yes or no, yeah, okay. This is how the communication work between two people. This is how the communication work in real scenario. Let's say this person is talking in Hindi and this person doesn't understand Hindi. ये चाइना वाला है, चाइनीस है, चिंचाओ. So अगर मैं इसको हिंदी में बोलूंगा, will this person be able to understand what I'm trying to say? There are so many languages available in the world, right? There are so many languages are there in the world. So if you want to communicate between two people, we have to have the same language. कि ये दोनों एक दूसरे से बात करना चाहते हैं तो सेम लैंग्वेज पे बात करेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं कर सकते. This is about the human. What about computers? Do computer understand Hindi, English? कंप्यूटर कौन सी लैंग्वेज में बात करते हैं? कंप्यूटर कौन सी लैंग्वेज में बात करते हैं? they work on binary, but ग्राउंड लेवल और बेसिक लेवल वो बाइनरी पे बात करते हैं. बट वी हैव क्रिएटेड सो मेनी डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस. उसमें से एक लैंग्वेज है जो आप डेली यूज करते हो, HTTP, हाइपर टेक्स्ट ट्रांसपोर्ट प्रोटोकॉल. सो एक प्रोटोकॉल बनाया है, मीन्स दिस कंप्यूटर विल सेंड समथिंग, उसको कुछ बोलेगा, अगर इसको समझ आया तो ये उसको रिटर्न बैक करेगा कि हाँ मुझे समझ आया. तो वो ऐसा थोड़ी बोलेगा यस ओके, ऐसा थोड़ी बोलेगा कंप्यूटर, या फेल, नो, ये सब चीजें तो नहीं पता ना कंप्यूटर को. सो HTTP प्रोटोकॉल जो बनाया है, द पर्सन हु क्रिएटेड द प्रोटोकॉल, they have talk about status code. Status code means if the message is transferred successfully, then this person will, if the message is received successfully and if it's understood successfully, then this computer will send 200, means successful. If there is an error, 400, 500, 599, okay, 201, 202. So this all are used for successful receiving the message. This all status code. This is a small code. जब हम बात करते हैं ना कि कोई भी चीज के लिए कोड बनाते हैं, हम हाँ नहीं बोलेंगे, हम लोग बोलेंगे 200. समझ आया तो उसके लिए हम बोलेंगे 200. समझ नहीं आया, फेल, या कनेक्शन टाइम आउट. So there are so many status code are there. Fail, rejected, timeout. I'm giving different example. Very common, you might have seen 504. Gateway timeout. मैं अभी फोटो दिखाता हूँ तो दिखेगा. 504 gateway timeout. I will show you the image. 504. Many of you might have seen this in ऐसे देखिए वेबसाइट्स. This site cannot be reached. Why? What is this 504? This is actually the status code. मतलब कि एक gateway timeout करके status code है. मतलब basically it's a handshake between two computers, and when they are not able to communicate with them, so this status code is coming. तो जब मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जब मैं फाइल अपलोड कर रहा हूँ, when I'm uploading a file in Amazon, I'm uploading a file in Amazon, upload. So क्या अगर सक्सेसफुल होगा तो क्या मिलना चाहिए मुझे बैक में? 200. स्टेटस कोड क्या मिलना चाहिए मुझे? 200. Actually this is asked in exam. Amazon says that S3 is built for 99.99% availability for S3 platform. Service is created. Service is built for 99.9 availability. So now there are three terms: availability, durability, and guarantee. So availability, durability, and guarantee. So what are these three terms in general? So बहुत easy एक example लेते हैं. एक गाड़ी है, this is a car. If right now in a family there are 2 person who are using this car, एक लेके चला गया तो वो दूसरे के लिए गाड़ी अवेलेबल है कि नहीं है? नाउ second person want to access this car, is the car available to you? Because पहला वाला लेके चला गया, उसको दूसरे वाले को भी चाहिए थी कार, काम है, is car available to you? So answer is no. Okay, so availability is like if I have the requirement, can I access that thing? बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल है, जैसे गूगल ड्राइव में मुझे डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए, इफ डॉक्यूमेंट वहां पे रखा हुआ है डॉक्यूमेंट अवेलेबल है, बट मेरे को एक्सेस ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, गूगल डाउन हो गया, इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी लॉस्ट, एनीथिंग, सो इज द डॉक्यूमेंट अवेलेबल टू मी नाउ? नहीं ना, सो दैट्स द अवेलेबिलिटी कि मेरे को जब चाहिए डॉक्यूमेंट अवेलेबल है कि नहीं. नेक्स्ट इज ड्यूरेबिलिटी. ड्यूरेबिलिटी मतलब कितना लंबा चलेगा. टाटा की कार है या जैसे अपनी मारुति 800 है, चले जा रही है, और सोनी का टीवी है, जमानों से चला जा रहा है, दैट्स द ड्यूरेबिलिटी. if I have put any file, will that file be available there, and how will anything happen to that file? वो करप्ट हो जाएगी, डिलीट हो जाएगी, कुछ भी हो सकता है ना. That's the durability. Guarantee that Amazon gives the guarantee कि इतना guarantee होगा, इतने percentage पे guarantee रहेगा. So what is the guarantee Amazon giving you? So पहला point, S3 is built for 99.99 availability. Means if data is uploaded in S3, Amazon will make sure that from their side there will be no issue. You can access the data anytime you want. अगर वहां पे कुछ एक डेटा सेंटर उड़ भी गया फिर भी तुम डेटा एक्सेस कर सकते हो. Why? Because they have replicated your data into 3 availability zone. I told you, right? एक रीजन में 3 जगह तेरा इनको minimum 3 copies are there. 3 copy minimum, right? So your data is always available. They guarantee you that 99.9% data is available. So the service is accessible 99.99 times. Third point, Amazon guarantees 99.9999999 percentage durability of your S3 information. Means if you have uploaded a document, it is 99.99999 nines. Okay, your data will be same as you have uploaded. Your data will be not going to get deleted. It is not going to get corrupted. आपके डेटा को कुछ भी नहीं होगा. कभी आपने गूगल ड्राइव पे ऐसा फेस किया कि मैंने एक फाइल अपलोड करी है वो करप्ट हो गई है, या मैंने 100 MB अपलोड किया था आज मेरे को 99 MB मिल रहा है. दैट वाज ड्यूरेबिलिटी. कितना सॉलिड पड़ा हुआ है वहां पे. उन्होंने एग्जांपल दिया है. दिस एग्जांपल आई हैव टेकन फ्रॉम Amazon वेबसाइट. यू वांट टू स्टोर 10 million object in S3. 10 million means 10 millions mean 1 crore. If you upload a 10 million files means 1 crore फाइल अगर अपलोड करी है, 1 crore different फाइल अपलोड करी है in S3 with 11 times 9 availability and durability, on an average you are expected to incur a loss of a single object once in every 10,000 year. So Amazon बोलता है कि अगर आपने करोड़ों फाइल अपलोड करी है ना तो 10,000 साल में एक फाइल लॉस होगी हमारे से. Means put your data and forget. Put the data in S3 and forget. It will be always there. So remember these 3 terms. Okay, remember what is the availability and what is the durability of the data in S3. Storage type available. It's a storage type available. Lifecycle management, versioning, encryption, MFA, and all those things. Okay, you can store any type of data in S3. I told you. आप कोई सी भी टाइप की फाइल अपलोड करो, जिप करो, mp3 करो, vlc करो, mp4 करो, कुछ भी अपलोड करो, ppt करो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You can put anything on S3. Lifecycle management. How many of you are deleting your old files? 1 साल बाद, 2 साल बाद, 5 साल बाद, you keep on deleting your old files which are not required to you. So life cycle, what is meant by life cycle? Everything, every object, everything on the earth has a life cycle. Everything on earth. Human की life cycle क्या है? Birth, childhood, adulthood, old age and die. कोई ऑब्जेक्ट का क्या है? कोई चीज हमने बनाई है, कार की क्या है? कार बनी है, यूज में है, बुढ़ी हो गई है, ट्रैश में चली गई है, राइट? एवरीथिंग इन द वर्ल्ड हैज अ लाइफ साइकिल. सो डेटा का भी लाइफ साइकिल होता है. जो डेटा हम बना रहे हैं, आपकी पुरानी फाइल्स, आपने कोई फाइल आज बनाई है, मेरे को अभी यूज में है, तो दिस फाइल इज इन यूज. टुमारो दैट फाइल इज नॉट यूज, लेट्स से मेरे को 2-3 साल बाद मेरे को फाइल की जरूरत ही नहीं है, सो यू विल डिलीट दैट फाइल, right? So that's the life cycle. Now same thing you can do with an S3 also. I will configure that the file which are older than 2 years should be deleted. जो जितनी भी फाइल 2 साल पुरानी है ना, वो डिलीट हो जाए. Either I go and check each file manually or I will assign a task to S3. वहां पे एक मैं जॉब लिख दूंगा, छोटा सा टास्क है, and S3 will automatically delete the file for you. So we can create a life cycle. Versioning. What is my versioning? कोई आपने अपने कॉलेज में वो फाइल्स बनाई है, अपनी पीपीटीज बनाई है? You created the PPTs in your college. If you remember, if you are creating assignments, if you are creating a projects, आप अपने फाइल्स को वर्जन 1, फाइल नंबर 1, फाइल नंबर 2, फाइल नंबर 3, फाइनल प्रोजेक्ट, फाइनल 1 प्रोजेक्ट, फाइनल 2 प्रोजेक्ट, ऐसे कभी किया है, बनाया है? yes, sir. क्या कर रहे हो आप वहां पे? What are you actually doing there? You are creating the versions of the files. Final, final 1, final 2, final 111, final 1112, something like that. You are creating the versions of the files. Same thing. If you upload a file in S3, okay, so let's say this is a file number 1 and you upload the same file again, so this is a second version. एक और फाइल अपलोड करी सेम नाम से, सेम टाइप की फाइल, this is version number 3. So you can create versions as well in S3. It provide you different versions. And encryption, anybody can explain you what is encryption? So again, this is your car, simple car, it has 4 doors. अगर मैं उसको सिंपल लॉक लगाऊं तो कोई भी आके तोड़ लेगा ना, कोई भी आके गाड़ी के अंदर चोरी कर लेगा ना. इफ आई पुट अ हाई लेवल सिक्योरिटी, बढ़िया सा डिजिटल लॉक लगा दूं इधर, कैन दिस कार बी स्टोलन? So again, encryption is something which is done on the data. So let's say this is AWS class. Now this is a simple message, anybody can understand this message, right? Let's create a one key. This is called encryption key, and the key is 4 times A, and I want to insert this key in this. So now the message will be A, okay, then A, TH, A. So HIS. Okay. So I have, you can see now, can you understand this message? Can you read? Is there, I have encoded my data, I have encoded my message. सिर्फ TISH, दिस को मैंने एनक्रिप्ट कर दिया. क्या किया मैंने? एनक्रिप्शन की क्या डाली? 4 टाइम A. ऐसे मैं पूरे मैसेज को कर दूं तो ऐसा कुछ दिखेगा ना मेरा फिर पूरा. So I think everybody know that army people, they communicate on encrypted network or they communicate on encrypted channels, right? What is my encrypted? They are used so that if the message is received by the non authorized person, still they will not able to understand. IS AWS class, something like this. अब इसमें मैसेज समझ आ रहा है क्या? अगर आपको ये नहीं पता कि इसके एंक्रिप्शन की क्या है, तो आपको ये मैसेज समझ आएगा क्या किसी को भी दोगे तो? That's the encryption. Why encryption is important? Because if there is any cyber attack happen, किसी ने भी आपका डेटा किसी ने चुरा लिया, okay, that can be happen, right? कि आपका डेटा किसी ने चुरा लिया, okay, so still that person should not able to open the file or understand the data what is written inside that file. उसके अंदर जो भी डेटा है उसको समझ नहीं आना चाहिए. That's why encryption is important. You can do that encryption. MFA delete. MFA delete is very simple thing. If I have some important document, okay, which I have uploaded in S3 bucket, I have uploaded 10 files. Okay, out of that, 3 are very important files, and they are all kept in the single bucket. Now you want to delete these files, only these files, but by mistake you selected all. तो आपकी सारी फाइल उड़ जाएगी ना. It can happen ना. फाइल कभी कभी होता है ना कि गलत फाइल डिलीट हो जाती है हमसे, हमको वो फाइल डिलीट नहीं करनी होती है, एक्सीडेंशियल डिलीट हो जाता है ना. To avoid that accidental delete, you can enable MFA. MFA कल बताया था मैंने, मल्टी फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन. दैट अगर आपको ये फाइल डिलीट करनी है ना तो आपको वो OTP डालना पड़ेगा. वो आपसे पूछेगा आपको डिलीट करना है, आप बोलोगे यस, तो ये बोलेगा एंटर द की, एंटर द की. आप वो भी कर सकते हो. सिक्योर डेटा यूजिंग एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिस्ट एंड बकेट पॉलिसी. फिर हम लोग कुछ पॉलिसीज बना सकते हैं अपने, कौन सी फाइल कौन से यूजर को एक्सेस होनी चाहिए वो भी कर सकते हैं हम लोग. जो फाइल्स है ये फाइल सबको एक्सेस ना हो, ये सिर्फ आपके एडमिन को एक्सेस होनी चाहिए. ये फाइल सिर्फ एडमिन को एक्सेस होनी चाहिए, एंड दिस फाइल कैन बी एक्सेसिबल बाय ऑल. तो ऐसी भी मैं पॉलिसीज बना सकता हूँ, दैट कॉल एक्सेस कंट्रोल लिस्ट एंड बकेट पॉलिसी. This is my S3 bucket, and I'm uploading my data. I'm uploading my data over the internet. So whenever we are uploading our data, Amazon is using HTTPS protocol. HTTPS protocol, which is highly secure by default, which come with SSL or TLS certificates. That means nobody can hack your data when it is in transition. Again, whenever we are uploading any file to Amazon, Amazon is using HTTPS protocol, and using HTTPS protocol by default it comes with SSL and TSL certificate. So using HTTPS, nobody can hack your data in between. So Amazon has make sure that whenever you are uploading your data will be highly secured. Your data will be moving in highly secure environment to them. So when we are uploading our document or when you are uploading any file to S3 using HTTPS protocol, our file is highly encrypted while uploading to the S3 bucket. So Amazon had make sure that whenever you are uploading the file, it is using HTTPS protocol, which consists of SSL and TSL certificates. Now at rest, now you have uploaded your document to S3. You have uploaded your file to S3. Now how S3 will manage or how S3 will do the encryption? There are three possibilities. Broadly, there are two possibilities. First, I will go with the server side encryption. Can you see the last point? Client side encryption. Last point, client side encryption. What is meant by client side encryption? Our last scenario, the scenario number 3, where I don't trust Amazon encryption. I don't trust Amazon encryption. I will encrypt my the last where we created the vault by myself. So what I'm doing, this is vault or safe. So what I'm doing, this is my file. This is a file. I'm encrypting my file in my local system. I'm doing the encryption on this file on my local system, and after encrypting, I am uploading the file. I don't trust encryption used by Amazon. It is, so who is doing the encryption here? Who is doing the encryption here? Client. Client basically means we. We are called client. Client side encryption. So client side encryption means we are doing the encryption in our local system, in our server, just like banks, bank or any financial companies, cryptocurrencies. What they are doing? They have their own on-premise servers. They have on servers. They are encrypting the data here, and after encrypting the data, they are uploading the files. They are doing encryption in their house. So whatever the charge, whatever the amount of memory or the processing time is done is been bear by the company or the client. Because to encrypt the data, you need to process the data. Basically, I told you to do any type of encryption, you have to process that data. That amount or that processing time plus the memory, or basically you are spending the money to encrypt, is bear by the company in their own premise. Inside encryption, always remember the key is responsibility of the client. Key means to decrypt these files you require a key, is always managed by the client. Amazon doesn't take any responsibility of this key. This key is with the client or with your company. Now the second scenario is server side encryption. Server side encryption means server side encryption. Basically, you are uploading the data to S3, you are putting the data to S3, and S3 will do encryption for you. You are putting the raw data without encryption. This is my raw file. Okay, this is raw files. So anybody can access this file. Now you have uploaded this file in S3. Now S3 will encrypt your data. Now S3 will encrypt your data for you. This is called server side encryption. Who is doing the encryption? S3. So that's why it's called server side encryption. The previous case was client side encryption. We were doing the encryption. Now S3 is doing encryption for me. In this case, we have three categories: S3 managed key, Amazon managed key, and customer provided key. Okay, so I told you the three scenario. First thing, S3 manage the key. All these things about is about the key. Who is managing the key? So simple, I am depositing the money in the bank, and it's the bank's responsibility. Where they want to keep the money, how they want to keep the money, in which vault they want to keep the money, it's their responsibility. So the key is managed by S3 or it is managed by Amazon. I don't know which key is there. Okay, the key, when the key was created, when this key was deleted, what is the life cycle of this key? All these things is managed by S3. Is the key is compromised? All these things has to manage by S3. We don't have to worry about anything. We are just worrying about our data, and that should be encrypted by Amazon. What type of key they are using, where they are storing the key, what is when the key was created, what is the life cycle of that key, we are not bothered about that. It is called S3 manage key. S3 manage key, and in short form is SSE S3. This is a short form. Server side encryption, SSE. server side encryption S3 manage key. Server side encryption S3 manage key. And here they are using AES 256 protocol. This is the encryption method. Okay, this is an encryption algorithm they are using to encrypt your data. AES 256. This is the first scenario. Second scenario, Amazon asks you to create the key. Amazon has a service called AWS KMS, Key Management Service. Just like S3 bucket, you can go and create your bucket. Here you can go and create some keys in Amazon. In Amazon, you can go and create the keys and you can use those keys to encrypt the data. You can use those keys to encrypt the data. Now here Amazon is not maintaining the key. They are not maintaining these keys. You are maintaining the keys. You are creating the key. You are going to delete the key. And it's up to you which key you have to use for which data. What is the encryption enable? All these things has to be managed by you. Amazon has just given you a console, just like in bank. They are saying that okay, we create the keys from this lock. Keysmith, go and make your own key and come back to with us. Just like the second scenario where they provide you the key. They provide you the locker and the key has to be managed by you. They provide you the locker and that key should be kept with you. If you lose the key, you lose your data. So this is called SSE KMS, server side encryption with key management service. In this all S3 is doing encryption for you. So they are not charging you for encrypting the data. Again, it takes some processing to encrypt the data. They are not charging anything. They are doing encryption for you without any fees. But main point is key. Who is going to manage that key? So first is you are letting Amazon decide how to manage the key. Second, you are creating the key inside Amazon. You are creating the key inside Amazon, and now it's your responsibility that how you want to use the key. But you are creating the key in Amazon using their service. So basically that means in bank you are accessing the locker and the keys are created by you using the toolsmith provided by the bank. The keysmith, they have dedicatedly assigned a keysmith which will create the key for you, special key for you. But that keysmith is still with the bank. They have created a dedicated area for them. You can go there, you can create your own key and you can use the locker. That's a management service. And third type of encryption is now third type of encryption is you customer provide key. Customer provided key of customer provide key. That means you are not trusting that keysmith. You are not trusting that keysmith that he will create a good key, or you are not trusting the bank itself. What you can do, you can create your own key from your own keysmith and bring the key to the bank and use it. The key is created at your house. You're bringing the key from outside, you're not using the key provided by Amazon. You're bringing a key from outside and then you are encrypting the data. So it is called SSE-C. server side encryption. Amazon is doing the encryption using your key, but the keys are generated in your on-premise. And at rest, server side encryption, S3 manage key, SSC S3, AWS manage key service manages the keys, KMS, SSC KMS, server side encryption with customer provided key. So there are three types of server side encryption, and here client side encryption means you are encrypting your data on premise and uploading. You are not using S3 encryption. In S3, the data is replicated within the region across the availability zone. This is your region. Let's call it as a Mumbai region. So this is my availability zone 1, this is availability zone 2, and this is 3. All these availability zones are connected with each other. Here is your file. Here is your file. You're uploading any file to S3 bucket. So your data will be either it will upload in any of this availability zone. When you upload your data, are we selecting a availability zone when creating the S3 bucket? हम जब S3 bucket बना रहे हैं, are we selecting availability zone? We are just selecting the region, right? So when I upload a file in S3 bucket, Amazon will randomly select any of the availability zone. Okay, randomly, and your file will be uploaded. So let's say nearby right now this availability zone is there. So your file will be uploaded here. Your file is uploaded here. Let's say you have uploaded your file at 8 p.m. 00 seconds. You have successfully uploaded your data. Now, as soon as you upload your data, Amazon will start replicating the data into different availability zone. As soon as you have uploaded your data, Amazon will start sending the data into other two availability zone. As soon as you upload the data, you ask Amazon to read the file. Now you are accessing that file. So you have a machine and you are accessing the file the very next second. As soon as the file is uploaded, you are accessing the file. You want that file immediately, very next second. So what can be the scenario? There can be two scenarios. And let's say in replication, it takes 5 seconds. In replicating your file, it is taking 5 seconds. Either you come to Amazon after 5 seconds. If you're coming to Amazon, checking the file after 5 seconds, let's say 8:30. After 5 seconds means after half an hour you're coming to check the file. So that means your data will be replicated here as well as here. And if you ask the Amazon that give me the file at 8:30, so your request can go here, or your request can go to here or here, any of the three availability zone. You will get the data. First scenario. Second, now you are not giving Amazon enough time to replicate the data. Means instead of 8:30, you are asking the Amazon to provide the file at 8 o'clock 2 seconds. Will the data will replicate it here by then? In the two availability zone? यहाँ पे data पहुंचेगा दोनों availability zone में? Again, it will be two scenario. Either your request will go to here, or your request can go here. So it is taking 5 seconds. Means assume that you have a very big file, 1 TB file, and to replicate 1 TB file in 5 seconds is pretty good speed. Now, if you go here, will you find the file? If you go here, will you find the file? Only in this case you will find the file. But what Amazon do, if you get hit, if you go here, if your request has landed here, then you will get the file back to you. But if your request had landed here, Amazon will once check if the file is available in another zone or not. Amazon will once check if the file is available here or here. It will cross verify that if the file is available here or here. So it will check here, the file is not here. It will check the file is here. So it will reroute your request to here, and from there the file will be downloaded. So Amazon will once verify in another availability zone as well. It's my new file. This is, we are talking about new file. So whenever we upload a file, I told you Amazon is using HTTP protocol. In HTTP protocol, we have different type of protocol: put, post, get, delete. Put and post is for writing. This is for downloading. So if I'm creating a new file, so this is a put request. This is a put request. In HTTP protocol means when you are uploading a file, it is a put request in Amazon. So read after write consistency for put of new object. As soon as you upload a file, you can read or access the file. मतलब कि जैसे आपने फाइल अपलोड करी, you can read the file. हमने देखा इस सिनेरियो में. As soon as I have upload the file, I can access next immediate second, irrespective if it's in another data center or not. It will navigate me to the data center or availability zone where my file is created. It's a read after write consistency. So as soon as you write the data, as soon as you have returned the data into S3 bucket, you can immediately access the file. For put of new object, what is data consistency for new object? Read after write. मतलब जैसे आपने write कर दिया, आप read कर लो फाइल को. Amazon का problem नहीं है. Now second scenario. There is a file already in my computer, and if I'm copying the same file name again, what will happen? It will be overwritten or it will replace. What if the file is already present in S3? This is your region, 3 availability zones, and your file is present here in every availability zone. File already present hai. Okay, connected. These are connected. These are connected. Let's say the file name is abc.txt. ये file already present है. So ideally तीनों availability zone में होगा वो. अगर file already present है तो. Now you are uploading same file abc.txt in S3 bucket. So what will happen if you are uploading the same file again with the same name? So it will replace the previous file. So let's change the color. Instead of blue, now this is a new file, black. Here it is uploaded. And again, let's say it is taking 5 seconds to replicate in other availability zone. क्योंकि जैसे आपने अपलोड किया तो यहाँ पे भी चेंज होना चाहिए ना वो डेटा. If you are checking after 5 seconds, again time लिखते हैं यहाँ पे 8 o'clock का ही लेते हैं example. If you are uploaded at 8 a.m. Now if you are checking after 30 minutes, that means the sync has completed, right? So आप हर जगह वो नया डेटा मिलेगा ना. यहाँ पे भी नया डेटा होगा, यहाँ पे भी नया डेटा होगा, ये डेटा रिप्लेस हो जाएगा, ये डेटा रिप्लेस हो जाएगा. But this is the interesting part to understand. But what if you have asked the data before 5 seconds? You have asked the data before 5 seconds. What will happen? That's in the very next second. You have asked the very next second. Again, there will be two possibility. Either your request can go to the data center where your data is uploaded, or your request can go to another availability zone where still the application is happening. ठीक है? So पहला scenario देखते हैं. If your request has landed here, which file you will get? The blue one or the black one? कौन सा मिलेगा? Black. What will be in this case? Blue is your new data or old data? You will get old data. Here you will get a new data. Is this acceptable that you are getting the new old data? Not at all. This is of overwriting of file. This is about overwriting of file. Same thing goes with deleting. If I delete a file from here, it might take some time to replicate the delete request from here and here. So if the file is deleted here, it is replicating the information here. मतलब यहाँ पे उसको भेज रहा है. उससे पहले आपने अगर file check किया, is the file available? So if you have landed here, so it will say no file, no data or no file. But if your request landed here where the request is not completed, then you will get the file. You will get the old file. So eventual consistency for overwrite or delete can take some time to propagate. If you write a new file and read immediately afterward, you will get the new view the file. You will able to view the file. ये हमने देखा पहले केस में. This is the first scenario. But if you upload an existing file or delete a file and read it immediately, you might get the older version or you might not. ये भी देखा हमने कहा ना कि नया डेटा मिल सकता है या पुराना डेटा मिल सकता है. Basically, change to object can take a bit of a time to propagate. It's only 0%, 1% or less than 1% that you will get the old file. It is less than 1%, then you will get the old file. But while designing your system, while working in Amazon, always keep in mind that this scenario can happen, that you have uploaded the new file, but you are getting the old file. If you are getting the old file, just wait or refresh it or wait for couple of seconds, you will get the new file. आपको नया फाइल मिलेगा, replicate होगा definitely, but it might take couple of seconds. It might take couple of some time to propagate or replicate. So we have two type of data consistency in S3. It's very important to learn this thing in from exam point of view. So the questions are created in exam like a client has uploaded the file and after uploading they are reading the file, but they are getting the old data. Okay, they are getting the old data. So what might be the reason and what are the suggestions? So in the 4 option, you will find one option where you will suggest that please retry after couple of seconds or put a delay in reading the file. If you have already uploaded, if you are doing a overwrite, okay, it's the case of overwrite only. Okay, overwrite and delete. If you are using uploading a new file, then it doesn't matter. अगर नया फाइल है ना तो ये केस आएगा ही नहीं. पुराना डेटा का तो केस आएगा ही नहीं ना, नया फाइल होगा तो. If it's a overwrite, means if you are uploading the data with the same name, you are overwriting the file, then this scenario will come. In that case, put a delay. I will write bucket name key URL and object URL. So what is my bucket name? Bucket name is Okay, my bucket October 2021 Mumbai. This is my bucket name. What is the key? So if you go to the object, you will see the key here. Copy this and paste it here. Now, how the S3 URL are created? What is the nomenclature of S3 URL? So I will just write S3 colon slash slash bucket name bucket underscore name slash the key. This is how the S3 URL is written, or this is the nomenclature of S3 URL. And what is the nomenclature of object URL? HTTPS slash slash bucket underscore name dot S3 dot in which region you have created this bucket. So region name dot slash the key name. This is how the your object URL will look like. So let's go and create the S3 URL. This is the format. I will copy it here. So generally, what is key? Key is the name of your file, name of your object. Key is basically name of your object. What is the bucket name here right now? My bucket of October 2021. So I will put this thing, replacing this, I will put it here. What is key? What is the value of key? This is the value of key. So this is my S3 URL. I have created my S3 URL. So if you go in the console and you can check, I will copy it from here and I'm pasting just next to this. So you can compare. So it's same. Let's go and create the HTTP URL. So this is my bucket name. What is my region name? Region name is Mumbai, but the code of Mumbai is AP South 1. Okay, so I will paste AP South 1 amazon.com/key. So what is my key? This is my key. So the object URL is created. So if you copy from the object URL and verify, so it's same. Now let's go to some another object in S3. So this is my other object. So what is my bucket name? Bucket name is this. I will paste it here. What is my key? Key is the name, generally the name of my object. So I will copy this, or you can see here, you can copy from here also. So how we have to understand key? Couple of more example I'm going to give you. So what is my bucket name? Bucket name is Mumbai. Okay, my bucket Mumbai. Then this is my key. What is the object URL? HTTP bucket name .s3.region.amazon.aws.com/key. So copy this thing and paste it here. What is my region? AP South 1. So where my bucket is created? AP South 1. And what is my key? Key is this. So my S3 URL and object URL is created. I'm going to my bucket again. Here I'm creating a folder. Even you can create folders here in my S3 bucket. So I'm creating a folder and giving the folder as name as folder_1. Create the folder. So you can see here folder, and the icon is, you can see the difference between icon of object and icon of your folder. I'm creating one more folder here. Folder 2. Inside folder 2, I'm creating one more folder. Folder_3. I am right now in my bucket. If I click here in my folder 1, so you can see here, it will give you the path where I am right now. Okay. So in the top, you can see what is my path right now. I can upload a document here. So I have uploaded one document in folder number 1. Let's go to folder number 2 and upload one document here. So inside folder number 2, there is one folder named as folder number 3, and there is one file. There are two things. Let's go in folder number 3 and upload two files here. So I have uploaded a couple of files in folder number 3. So if you want to check where right now you are working in, so you can see the path, my bucket name inside the folder number 2, inside folder number 3. You are working in folder number 3 right now. So here Amazon give you the path where you are working in S3 bucket. And you can directly jump to any of the previous folders. You can jump to your bucket, you can jump to your folder. So I'm going to jump in folder number 1 right now. And if I click on the object here, what is the file name? Post to 0. But if you observe the key, I'm just zooming out. Okay, if you observe the key, what is key? It's not file name. It's actually the folder plus file name. Folder plus file name means if you compare with the full path, excluding the bucket name, your key is full path of your file. Excluding the bucket name, your key is a path plus file name. What is the key? Folder plus file name. In which path this object is uploaded and the file name is the key. Folder plus file name. What is my bucket name here right now? S3. This is my bucket name. So what will be the S3 URL? Bucket name, the full path. So in a way you can say the bucket name plus folder name plus file name is my S3 URL. Similarly, if object URL, here I'm replacing the bucket name, I'm replacing the region AP South 1, and what is the key? Full path, folder 1 plus the actual file name. I will show you in the console as well, so you can see it's the same thing. S3, bucket name, folder name, and the file name. If you see the object URL, the bucket name s3.s3.apsouth1.amazon.com, folder name plus file name. Let's go to another folder which we created, folder number 2. Inside folder number 2, we have folder number 3. If I click on any of the object, now you can see what is the full path of this object, folder number 2 plus folder number 3 plus file name. So what is the key? Key is the full path with your file name. So if you copy this thing and put it here, then you can create the S3 URL and you can create the object URL. Hope if I give you the S3 URL, then you can figure out what is my bucket name and what is my key. So this is my bucket and this is the key. If I provide you S3 URL, so always remember the in S3 URL first part is bucket and after that is the key. After that it's a key without slash. Key consists of for all the folders plus actual file name. We have the next topic is the storage type or different type of classes or tiers. So what are the different tiers available in S3? So first is S3 standard. Second is S3 infrequent access. Third is S3 one zone infrequent access. Fourth is S3 intelligent tiering. Fifth is glacier and sixth is deep glacier. So I will explain you each and every category and when to use which category, what is the most suitable category to you. You have to select that. So what is the category or what is the classes basically? So Amazon has provided multiple categories or classes of S3. So first is standard. If you are putting your data into S3 standard, in that Amazon says that your data will be available 99.99 times and the durability of 99.99999 times. So by default, whenever you're uploading a file, whenever we are uploading any file, it is going to be selected as default or standard. By default, whenever you are uploading any file, the S3 class is selected as S3 standard by default, in which you get 99.99% availability and 99.999% durability stored redundantly across multiple devices in multiple facility and is designed to sustain a loss of two facility concurrently. Means if you have selected this category, if I'm storing my data in this category, you will get the best performance. S3 standard is the most costliest storage available in S3. We have different categories. Next is S3 infrequent access. Here, if you are not using your data that frequently, let's say your Aadhaar card, how frequently we are using Aadhaar card? Once a week, once a month, right? But whenever there is a requirement of Aadhaar card, we need to access immediately. We can't wait for retrieval time, right? We can't wait that, OK, I require Aadhaar card. Let's wait 10 minutes so that S3 can recover the data. But I am not accessing the Aadhaar card on a daily basis. Such type of data, such type of files, which are not accessible on a daily basis or that frequently. The frequency of accessing the data is less as compared to S3 standard. And I need to retrieve the data immediately. Means if I require the file, it should be available immediately. There are two factors: how frequently I'm using the data and how fast I need to get the file. OK, I'm differentiating two parameters. First is how frequently I'm accessing the file and how rapidly I require the file. So in S3 standard and in S3 infrequent access, both the categories, the retrieval time means if you want the file right now, it is available for you. But if I'm storing the data in infrequent access, that means I'm not accessing that file very frequently. So Amazon will charge me a little less as compared to S3 standard. So these are the different category. So if I know there are some files which are not accessible that much to me. So why should I keep that file in S3 in standard? I can put that file in S3 infrequent access so that I can save some money. Let's say if putting a data into S3 standard cost me 10 rupees, then putting the data into S3 infrequent access, the charges will be $8 rupees. In both the category, we are getting 99.9% availability and 99.99% durability. In S3 infrequent access also we are getting a same availability and durability, but the difference is majorly S3 standard is used for the data which you need to access on a daily basis. The only difference is that this category is quite cheaper because the data which you are using should be less frequent. You're not retrieving the data that frequently as compared to standard. For example, you have Aadhaar card, your license, this data, these files. You are not using these files regularly that frequently, but whenever the requirement is there, you need to retrieve that file immediately. Once in a month, once in 2 months, you're going to use your license, your Aadhaar card, your mark sheet, right? So why should I pay more? Okay, if storing the data in standard costing me 10 rupees, storing the data in infrequent access will cost me 8 rupees. We will try to save our money. Now, the next category is one zone. Now, what is in one zone? I told you that in both the infrequent access and standard, both the category, the data is replicated in multiple devices. Means all your data will be copied in multiple availability zone. In S3 standard and S3 infrequent access, your data will be multiplied or will be copied to different availability zone. But in S3 one zone, okay, S3 one zone, your data will not be copied to different availability zone. It will be copied into single zone. So S3 infrequent access, same as S3 infrequent access. However, the data is stored in single availability zone only. The data is stored in single availability zone only, and you get 99.99% durability, but the availability is reduced from 99.9.5%. So the cost is reduced further to 20% more. So let's say we are paying 10 rupees for standard, 8 rupees for infrequent access. Then for S3 one zone, you might be charged for 6 rupees. All the features are similar to one zone, but the data is stored only in one availability zone. If that availability zone goes down, you won't able to access the data until that availability zone is come up or that connectivity is restored. If you lose the connectivity with that single availability zone, you won't be able to retrieve the data until Amazon fix the issue. We can select the category, we can select the tires in which we want to put the data in S3 bucket. As per the property, as per my requirement, I will try to save my money. So to save my money, I have to understand how frequently and rapid I require the data, how frequently I'm using the data, and if I'm not using that data that frequently, how rapidly I need to access that data. And if I lose the data, if I lost, if the I have stored in one availability zone, and if I'm not required that frequently, then I can wait for a couple of seconds. That if availability is not gone down, availability zone is gone down, I can wait more time. Then I can store in infrequent access, or basically we are storing the data which is less important, or data that can be reproduced, just like thumbnails or cache. Thumbnails, everybody know there are the thumbnails of the mobile which act as a cache. Logs file, computer logs, system logs. These files are not that much important and can be reproduced. That files can be kept in S3 one zone. Clear? Now coming to fourth category, I will explain the fourth category in a while. Let's switch to fifth and sixth category. What is S3 Glacier? So before going to Glacier, I will just show you the image. So what is glacier in general? It's an old ice. Similarly, if you have a data which is old and which is not that frequently accessed. Okay, we have an old data which is not that frequently accessed to us, but the data is important. I have to keep the data, but I'm not using the data for months. I'm not using the data for months. So Amazon has created a next category called Glacier. It is quite cheaper and used for the data which are not that frequently accessed, and it takes time to retrieve. Okay, it may take times to retrieve the data. For example, you might have created projects in your college. That project has some PPT, some document that you are not going to access that file that frequently. Once a year, twice a year, or in a 5 years, you are going to access that file once in a while. And there are very less chances that you need that file immediately. You can wait for a couple of hours. You can wait couple of hours to retrieve the file from S3. Let's take example of your college itself. If you lose your mark sheet, you go to your college, you ask the admin team or the accountant team, whoever who is managing the mark sheets in your college, and you ask them, please give me a duplicate mark sheet. What will they will say? Submit your request. We will check. The data is in their archive. The data is in their storage device, storage room. All the mark sheets of previous students are stored in some storage room, and it will take 2 days to retrieve your mark sheet. Come after 2 days. This is a scenario. So basically the data is stored in some archival room, and you have to wait for couple of hours to couple of days to retrieve that data. And if you can wait, if that's the requirement that you can wait for couple of hours to couple of days, then you can put your data into Glacier. So S3 Glacier is used for the data which is old and you are not accessing that data very frequently. And if you can wait for couple of minutes to couple of hours to restore the data, then you can put into Glacier. So what Amazon does, basically they zip your data, they compress your data, they do encryption on that so that your data will be very in a very compressed and small in size. So if you're asking the Amazon to give your data, so Amazon need to fetch the data and they might put this data in their old facilities. So they will bring the data from their old facility and they need to decompress your data, which might take couple of minutes to couple of hours. So very cheap, but used to archival only, optimized for data that is infrequently accessed, and it takes time from minutes to hours to restore from the Glacier. Example, due to some federation rules, many companies might have to store the data for 5 years to 7 years. Many company has to store some documents, some information up to 5 to 10 years as per the government rule, as per the federation rules. The data are not used by them. They are not going to use the data that frequently. So why should they put the data into other S3 storage? Why should they pay more? They can push their data to Glacier so that they are preserving the data as well as they are saving the money. You can imagine there are some photos with you, like your college photos, your childhood photos. You are not that much frequently accessing that data, that photos. But when you want to see, you can wait for like 1 hour or couple of minutes to 1 hour. OK, we can see the photos today. I will raise a request in the morning that please retrieve these files, this all photos from Glacier, so that in the evening time I can revisit my photos. These are the cases where I can wait, and I'm not using that files that frequently, then I can put into Glacier. Then comes Deep Glacier. This is a new category. Amazon launched this category 1 year back only. What this category is, it is next level archival. So that's why S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Previously, Glacier was the cheapest one. Now they have launched a new storage class, which is S3's lowest cost storage class, where retrieval time goes to up to 12 hours. Okay, if you can wait up to 12 hours to 1 day, then you can always keep your data into deep archive. So I have kept some documents which are not that much accessible to me into Glacier or Deep Glacier. Now, what is S3 intelligent tiering? And it was launched in 2018. Now, assume that you are new to the data. You created a file and you are very new with that file. You are not sure if I should put it into standard or infrequent access. You are not sure that I'm going to use that file on a daily basis, or I might need this file immediately or infrequent access. I'm not sure. What is the frequency of accessing the file to me right now? In industry, there are many data which comes on a daily basis with you, but you are not immediately accessing the data. You might access the data after 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and you once data is accessed by you, you're not at all accessing the data. But your data is stored in standard, so you are paying more. It should be moved to the infrequent access. But there are some files which you are accessing on a daily basis, but you have put that file in infrequent access. Ideally, you should have put it into standard, because in infrequent access, retrieval, there is a charge of retrieval. If you want to retrieve the data, there is a charge in retrieval. Okay, there is a charge associated when you retrieve the file. So I'm not that much sure what is my access pattern, how frequently I'm using the data. For that purposes, S3 has launched intelligent tiering. What it does, it checks your access pattern. It monitors how frequently you are accessing the data. If you are accessing the data very frequently, it will move the data to S3 standard automatically. And if you are not accessing the data, if your pattern is unpredictable, you are not accessing the file very frequently, then S3 will move that file to infrequent access. So the theory is unknown and used for unknown and unpredictable access pattern. Basically, two types come in picture: frequently access and infrequent access. So S3 standard and S3 infrequent access automatically moves your data to most cost effective tier based on how frequently you are accessing each object, each file. Okay, individual objects, individual files. So how does it work? If an object is not accessed for 30 consecutive days, then it moves automatically to infrequent access. But as soon as an object which is in infrequent access, as soon as an object which is in infrequent access to is access, it get automatically moved to frequent access. Means if you're accessing the data frequently, then it will automatically move to frequent access category. And S3 intelligent tiering has the same level of judiciary ability and availability as you would expect from normal S3 infrequent access. For monitoring purpose, they charge you some $0.3 per month to monitor your pattern. Okay. Now, if imagine that you have GBs, terabytes of data, which is costing you hundreds of dollars if you are putting in standard. simple example, if you have a huge data and you are charged $100, if you are putting in standard, and if you put the data into infrequent access, you are getting it $80. Spending $0.3 doesn't matter for you now. You are saving $19 per month. You can compare standard, infrequent access, one zone, glacier, deep glacier. What is the durability? What is the availability? Only in one zone the availability goes down from 99.5%. Availability zone, all have three availability zone, minimum three availability zone, but in one zone it has only one availability zone. Minimum capacity charge. These are the charges capacity. They are charging storage minimum 30 days, 180 days, 90 days. And in the last you can see retrieval charges. In standard there is no retrieval charges, but in standard, in one zone, glacier and deep glacier, there is a retrieval charge associated with it. And the final, when you can access the data, how fast you can access the data in millisecond, in millisecond, in millisecond, in millisecond. But in glacier and deep glacier, minutes to hours and up to a couple of hours. How fast you can get the data. Cross-region replication. What is cross-region replication? So we have talked about Amazon has multiple regions, and we have to create our bucket in any of a particular region. Right now we are India, so we will create our bucket in India region. But let's say your company, your client is working in America. So you're definitely going to create a bucket for them in America region. Let's say Virginia. After some time, your client says that we are going to open a new office in Sydney. We are going to open a new office in Sydney, and we need the data in Sydney as well. So what that means, they are going to upload the data in this bucket. They are going to upload the data in this bucket continuously. Okay, means till now only this bucket was working. They are uploading the data into this bucket. They are maintaining this bucket. They are playing with this bucket. Now they want that you create a new bucket in Sydney region, and whatever the data you are putting now, forget about the previous data right now. Forget about the previous data. The new data which you are uploading should be replicated immediately into this bucket. What you will do? Either you create some script which will copy the data from here to here. Either you do manually copy from this bucket to this bucket. You can do that in S3 console. You can copy the data from one bucket to another bucket. Okay, you click here, go to action, copy. Okay, you can select the destination bucket. So you can copy the data from one bucket to another bucket manually. Either you do that or you write some script which will copy your data from this bucket to this bucket. But how frequently are you going to run that script? Because you don't know the pattern, right? Your client can send the data anytime in a particular day. There is no particular time. So what Amazon did, they will copy your data. They have written a script behind the screen that they will copy your data as soon as you upload your data in this S3 bucket. Behind the scene, they will copy your data to the destination bucket by themselves. So as soon as you upload your document here, upload your file here, that file will be copied immediately to your other bucket. And you don't have to do anything. It is all automatic. So if you go to your bucket, go to your management, you can see replication rule. Use replication rule to define option you want S3 to apply during replication. Okay, other options. So create a replication rule. So I can create a replication rule here. Rule number 1. You can put anything. Number 1. Okay. Then status, you can enable this rule. Priority, how fast you want to upload your data. Apply to all object. Any file is uploaded to your bucket, you can apply to all the object, or you can filter that Out of 10 file, the file starting with US should be copied, or file starting with Australia should be copied, not all the files. You can enter some prefix, add filter to limit the scope of your rule. Prefix means if you want to specify some file name, okay, starting with Australia or Sydney or India, something like that. So filter the files or all object. Choose the destination account or other bucket in the same account. Okay, this is the same bucket in the my same account, or even you can go to cross account, means the bucket is created in another account. So I have created one bucket in my account and I want to copy your data in your S3 bucket, which is in another account. So that also we can configure. So I can give the target bucket. I have to give some roles. Role again, I need to give S3, this source S3 bucket, that it should copy the bucket, it should copy the content to another bucket. Encryption, we will learn about encryption and some other things. Even you can select the class in which storage class the data should move to destination bucket. In your destination bucket, which storage class should data be stored in? You can select that also, and you can create the rule. To create this rule, I have to enable the versioning. Right now, the versioning is not enabled on both the bucket, source as well as destination bucket. So Amazon do charge you for cross-region replication. Okay, you can see cross-region replication. They charge you for that because they are doing the job for you. So they're going to charge you a minimal amount. If you go to your console and check the pricing here and data transfer replication time. Okay, so this is the amount they are going to charge you to replicate the data. Transfer acceleration. So right now we are here. If my bucket is in India region, how much I have a 1 GB file, 1 GB file. So let's take example, uploading a 1 GB file takes me 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. And there is another bucket in my account, which is in Virginia. If I'm uploading same file in this bucket, will it take 10 seconds? Will it going to take 10 seconds? It might take 12 seconds. It might take 15 seconds. Why? Because my bucket is very near to me. So there are many servers are coming picture. When I'm uploading my data, there are many servers. If I'm uploading the data in the nearby S3 bucket, it will take less time. If I'm uploading the data which is far from me, I have to connect to different servers to go to that S3 bucket because I am going over the internet. If my bucket is near to me and if my bucket is far from me, uploading the same data will take more time as the bucket is moving far from me. We are just talking about 1 GB. Let's say I have to upload 100 terabyte. Can I do that? How much time it will take if I'm uploading the data over the internet? A location are the server near to you in every region. Now what Amazon says to you that okay, don't upload directly because over the internet there are many public servers are coming in picture, right? Public server basically means the servers are the traffic in this server is handled by many people, means this server is handling the traffic for many people. The traffic increase on this server means you are getting less performance because this server is public. To avoid this thing, Amazon said that don't go to the public server, just upload the data to nearby edge location. Upload the data to nearby edge location. Upload the data to nearby edge location so that your upload time is decreased, means you are using less public resources, less public servers. After you upload your data, Amazon has its own fiber, its own private link, its own connect in network, which are not public access to public, which are not accessible to public. That means this fiber, this network will has a ultra high speed, and they will upload your data for you in your bucket. Basically, it is saving the time. It is avoiding the public servers. So that is basically the transfer acceleration is. What you're doing here, your bucket is somewhere in different region. You're uploading your data to nearby edge location, and from there, Amazon is going to push the data using its own backbone network, which is private and ultra high speed, and they will push the data in the destination bucket. Now, S3 transfer acceleration enable fast, easy and secure transfer of files over long distance between your end user and S3 bucket. It takes advantage of S3 CloudFront global distribution edge locations. As the data arrive at the edge location, it route to Amazon S3 over an optimized network path. It will be private Amazon's fiber network. So you're going to upload your data into edge location. From edge location, your data will be moved to your S3 destination S3 bucket. How do you know that should you use transfer acceleration or not? Because it's a chargeable service. You can see the data transfer. Yeah, transfer acceleration pricings. So here is the charge. This is the additional service. This is the additional service you are using. Either you can directly upload to S3 or you can ask Amazon to upload. So you are doing additional, you are taking additional service from Amazon. That's why they are charging you for using this service. And how do you know that which bucket, the bucket which you have created, which region is more efficient using transfer escalation or not? So I will show you S3. You can see the speed. You can check the speed with different region. Just click in this URL. It will check. It will compare from my laptop, my data set, my internet speed, and it will check in different S3 region. If I'm uploading the data in Virginia, and should I use S3 transfer acceleration or not? Will it be beneficial for me to use transfer acceleration or not? So it will give me a comprehensive output for all the region. In some region, just like in Mumbai, you might get a negative review also. That don't use S3 transfer acceleration because that server, that region is nearby to you. You can see if I'm using transfer acceleration, I'm getting 35% higher speed. Same thing, it will check for all the region. It will check for all the regions and it will give you the percentage. Is it faster or it is slower? In some region, it might go slow because using transfer escalation is not always healthy, because if the region is near to me, putting the data directly over the internet will be faster or will be cheaper as compared to using this service. For San Francisco, 45% increase. And you can enable that feature in properties. You can go to the bucket property, scroll down, and here in the bucket property, you can see, should I enable the transfer acceleration on this bucket? If you have enabled this thing, whatever the data you are uploading in this bucket will first go to nearby edge location, and from there it will the data will be uploaded to the destination S3 bucket. To learn about CloudFront. What is CloudFront and how CloudFront help us in various applications. So before going to CloudFront, what are the topics we are going to learn in CloudFront? First is what is CDN? What is CDN? Then what is actual CloudFront is? What are the key terminologies we are going to learn in CloudFront? Then CloudFront and S3 transfer acceleration and summary. So first of all, what is CDN? CDN is a content delivery network. It's a concept. It's a concept where we forget about right now anything about cloud. Just it's a basic concept where if you have a website, and you are serving this website to many people in the world. So assume that I have hosted a website in a server. We have talked about that each website has to be hosted on any of the machine. It can be in-house, it can be EC2, or it can be the servers group of machines. It will be hosted on some server. That is, we are clear on that. So assume that we host a website and that website is somewhere in our website is somewhere in European region, let's say London. The server on which our website is hosted is in London city. Next, now we have different people. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 users which are accessing this website directly. Directly means they are accessing this website over the internet. Okay, now what will be the time? What will be the latency of accessing this website by this 5%? Will all this 5%, if all this 5% will access the website simultaneously, will all these 5 people will get response in similar time? In the same, will the response to all these 5 people will have the same time? The person who is near to the website, who is near to the website will face less latency as compared to the person who is accessing this website from far place, different region. Now I'm not talking about a single 5 people. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of people. Second thing, if all these people are accessing the website, so there will be a load on the website. There will be definitely the load will be there on the website. To cater the traffic of all the people, my server will be under stress. To overcome these two issues, first is the latency, the user experience. How can we improve the user experience? Second thing, how can we reduce the stress? How can we reduce the traffic on my server? Because I just assume that this is a Wikipedia website, just like we have seen. A simple static website means the content of this website is same for all the user. The content of this website is same for all the user. So if this person is accessing the website and this person is accessing the website, means the content received to this person and this person are same. But our website has to handle each request, each person's request individually. Means our website might go under stress. Stress means it might get overloaded. It might not able to handle that much requests. How can we reduce this flow of request? So that's where the concept came, CDN, Content Delivery Network. It's a concept where what the websites are doing, they have created, so big companies, they have purchased, or uh, they have installed their nodes somewhere in different region, or they have asked a local servers, or they have taken local servers on rent, whatever they have done. Basically, they have installed some servers locally. Locally means it can be nearby to the users, where they they find that their user penetration is high. Where they find that their user penetration is high, they are going to install there are some servers. Now, what will happen? Instead of request going directly to the server, now if this person, my website is something www dot example.com is my website. OK, this is my website, and previously all the people, all the users were accessing my website directly. But now what I had done, I have installed local server and I have changed the routing. OK, routing means how this website will go. If you enter this example.com, how the request will navigate to the server, the path. I have changed this path. I have changed this path. Now, if you enter this website URL, then the request will land on the nearby server. This particular website. It will not directly go to the main server. It will go to the nearby servers. First of all. Now here we have two scenarios for all these people. Assume that this is a new website. In that case, if the user enter www.example.com and the request will land on this nearby server, this server are empty. There is nothing in this server. That means if the user is asking the website from this nearby servers, this server will say, OK, we don't have this website. Let me go and get the content of the website from the actual server. And the content will be downloaded first of all in this local servers, all these local servers. The content will be delivered to all these local servers. These local servers. Now, after the content is the copy of the website is downloaded, or the content of the website is downloaded to near servers, it will be served back to the users. It will be served back to the users from here. In this case, the latency hasn't improved. The time taken to load the website for the user, it hasn't improved the performance. The performance has not been improved in this case. But now assume that second user in the same region trying to access the same website. So same scenario will happen. It will go here. Here now in the local server, do we have the content of the website? Is the website downloaded here? So answer is yes. Immediately it will return back to the user. Immediately the content will be delivered back to the user. Immediately the content will deliver back to the user. So you can see how much distance is safe. The time is safe for the second user in the given region. This path, we don't have to take this path now for the second user. Is the performance improved for the second users? compared to the previous case or first case. My primary objective was fulfilled here, that the loading time of the website should decrease. If I'm adding more user, all the requests will be getting to the local server and it will be delivered to the users. Now, if you multiply the users, multiply the request, now you're getting 1,000 requests and all 1,000 requests are served from the nearby servers. So assume that previously on your website, you're getting 10,000 requests. On your actual website, in the previous case, you're getting 10,000 requests. Now you have installed 5 servers. So 5 servers are installed. Each server is handling 1,000 requests. Each server are handling 1,000 requests. So basically you have reduced 5,000 requests from your website now. From this website, from the main server, you have reduced 5,000 requests. These 5,000 requests are handled by individual local servers. There might be some users where there is no local server. So they will going to access the website directly. There might be some user which will go and access the website directly because there are no local server installed. So out of 10,000 requests, we are assuming that we have reduced 5,000 requests by installing local servers. So here I have our two objectives: improving the user performance and decreasing the stress on our servers are achieved. This is a concept called content delivery network. So here what we are doing, we are delivering the content of the website. So what is CDN basically means? CDN, or the content delivery network, is a system of distributed servers. Distributed servers means we have multiple servers installed that delivers the web page or other web content. Not only the web page, not only the HTML files, but the video media files as well. Video, your audio files, your flash files, any type of media files as well. So web page plus web content, any content which is hosted on your website, to the user based on the geographical location of the user, the origin of the web content and the content delivery server. So definition is quite tricky, but I think you are clear what I'm trying to explain here. What is the concept called CDN? This architecture, the architecture which we have just understood, this is called CDN architecture. Now coming to cloud. If I want to do this architecture, if I want to implement this architecture, even Amazon has thought about this. We hosted a website in S3. If your website has multiple videos of nearly 50 MBs, there are many websites, right? Just like your Instagram or any other websites, there are many videos are there with huge size. Assume that this website is hosted on Amazon. So Amazon need to provide you same CDN architecture, right? So for that, Amazon came up with a concept called CloudFront. So what is CloudFront? CloudFront can be used to deliver your entire website, including dynamic, static, streaming, and interactive content using AWS global network of edge location. So we know edge location. We know what is they are used for caching the data. So that is the concept. That is where edge location comes in the picture. So if you want to host a website and you cache your data into edge location, basically, if you want to cache your data, if you want to download your data to edge location, then where you will configure that? How will you configure that? I want to use edge location. Yesterday we hosted a website, and now I think that the traffic is increasing on my website, so I should leverage edge location. So where I will configure that thing? How do we monitor all these things? So that's where the CloudFront comes. CloudFront is a service used to configure the settings in 8 locations. CloudFront is the service which we are going to configure what type of website we have to cache in 8 location. Will all the websites on S3 will be caching the data in 8 location? If you have hosted a website, will by default all the website will be caching the data in 8 location? So answer is no. You have to specify. You have to enable the service. You have to enable the CloudFront to cache your website data to edge location. And CloudFront is a chargeable service. It doesn't come in free tier, but you can try it out. You can run it for 1 hour. It is very minimal amount. I think 5 to 10 rupees. You are not going to spend more than that. To practice, you can do that. Now, request from the request for your content are automatically routed to your nearest edge location. So if you are accessing the website, the request will automatically route to the edge location and the content is delivered to you with best possible performance. So we don't have to do anything. We don't have to change the routing. We don't have to do anything. We just have to enable the CloudFront. And all the networking part, all the routing part are handled by Amazon themselves. That's why you might have heard Amazon comes with it's a fully managed service. As a user, as a developer, we don't have to do anything. Previously, it was a huge headache for a developer or for a company to do all this configuration to implement a CDN technology only. It used to take months. Now we will configure in less than 10 minutes. Example can be used to optimize the performance for user accessing the website, which is hosted on S3 bucket. So back in S3. Amazon CloudFront is optimized to work with other web services as well, just like hosting on S3, or you hosted a website on EC2 machine, Elastic Load Balancer, or Route 53. So we are going to learn about all these 3 things in our future classes. Amazon CloudFront also works seamlessly with any non-AWS origin server, which stores the original definitely version of your file. Okay, now what is the last sentence means? Now all of you know that the CloudFront is an Amazon website. CloudFront is an Amazon service. So you might assume that you have to host the website in Amazon so that you can leverage the CloudFront. Means if you have a website which is not hosted on Amazon, let's say your website is hosted on-premise, and if you want to enable the CDN concept, then also you can do using CloudFront. You don't have to host your website in AWS. AWS provide this facility as well, that your website can be hosted anywhere, on-premise, or even you can think of in other cloud services as well. Still, you can use Amazon CloudFront to cache your website data, to edge location to increase the performance of your website. Now we have learned about the theory of CloudFront. Now what are the components in CloudFront? There are 3 components. First of all, edge location. So we are very thorough about edge location, I think. So edge location, this is the location where the content is cached. That you are trying to read or can also be written separate on AWS region and availability zone. So again, edge location is the actual server where the content of your website will be downloaded and act as a cache. These 8 locations are separate from AWS region and availability zone. These servers are different. Second thing, origin. What does it mean by origin? This is just the origin of all the files that content delivery network will distribute. Means origin means where your website is hosted. The server on which my website is hosted is called as origin. It can, if you are working in AWS, it can be S3, it can be EC2 machine, it can be your on-premise server as well. What is origin? The place where your website is hosted, the server, the service where your website is hosted is called origin. Origin can be S3, EC2 machine, elastic load balancer, Route 53. Now, distribution. This is the name given to content distribution network, which consists of collection of edge location. Now, what is distribution means? What is a collection of edge location? So coming to this network is called distribution. Basically, you are distributing your website to different edge location. You're distributing the content of your website to different edge location. So this is called distribution. So the name given to the content distribution network, the network which is created to distribute your content to edge locations are called distribution basically. It is broadly divided into two categories: web distribution and RTMP. So web distribution contain only the website contents, HTTP and HTTPS. Means the web pages, HTML pages. And RTM, real-time messaging protocol, used for streaming the video, audio, data over the internet or flash multimedia content. Basically means audio, video, flash player, or any other media content. If you want to distribute, you can use this option. Previously, we have to select what distribution we want. Means what is the nature of our website? Is it's a simple web page or it's a multimedia web page? And accordingly, we have to configure the CloudFront. But now these two distributions are combined together. So previously we had to select the options, but now the Amazon has merged these two things together. So we don't have to use the option. They don't provide any option. Both CloudFront now support both these protocols, both this distribution in a single go. Previously we have to configure individually. Now you don't have to configure individually. They have clubbed together. Now, the next part is S3 transfer acceleration. So we talk about what is S3 transfer acceleration. Till now, we have only talked about downloading the data to the edge location or to the nearby servers. But Amazon has thought a little more, and what they came up is why to just download the content. Why not we can use the edge location to upload the document as well? Why to go only one-sided? Why to follow only one path? Let's use edge location to upload the document. The similar pattern is there when we are uploading our document or when we are uploading any file. So yeah, So instead of this server, assume that this is a S3 bucket. So what will happen if you are uploading a 10 TB file, a 10 TB data? If you're uploading this file or this data, though you might have a good bandwidth, but it will take time to upload the data to S3 bucket. And if you are far from the bucket, it will take more time. Second problem, it might your connection will there mark interruption in the connection. Your session might time out. There can be multiple reasons. And if you are uploading the data over the internet, I told you there will be multiple server will come in between. And we are not sure how fast or how efficient this server are. So assume that you have a good bandwidth of 100 MB. Still, you are not able to upload this document. You are getting only 500 MB, 500 KB upload speed. Why? Because there might be intermediate server which are not that much. They not have good configurations. So to upload the data, same thing Amazon did. You upload the data to nearby edge location. So basically you are reducing the time, you're reducing the path. If you are in India and we install a server in Mumbai and in Bangalore, so you are going to upload the data into Mumbai servers. Then from edge location, Amazon will put the data to your S3 bucket. And how they are going to use, how they are going to upload the S3 data to S3 bucket? How they are going to upload the data to S3 bucket? They are not going to use internet or the public network. Amazon has their own bandwidth. They have their own private network. If it's a private network, the traffic will be less. Just like your BRTS, it's a private road for BRTS. The traffic on that network will be less as compared to general internet. So the bandwidth is very high. The latency is ultra low. That's what S3 transfer acceleration is all about. So S3 transfer acceleration enable fast, easy, and secure transfer of your file over long distance between end user and S3 bucket. Second, transfer acceleration take advantage of CloudFront's global distribution edge location. As the data arrive at edge location, data is routed to S3 over an optimized network. If you have created a bucket in Mumbai and you're using S3 transfer acceleration, you won't get that much benefit. You're just wasting the money of using S3 transfer acceleration. So in the diagram, you can see first your data is arrive at edge location, and the second it will be uploaded to your S3 bucket. What is the summary of CloudFront? CloudFront has three key terminologies. Edge location. This is the location where the content is cached. Okay, so this is a location where your data is cached that you're trying to read or write. It is separated from availability zone and edge location. It is separated from availability zone and region. Edge location is a actual data centers which is used to cache the content of your website. This is just the origin of all the files that content delivery network will distribute. Origin can be S3, EC2 machine, Elastic Load Balancer, Route 53, or your on-premise servers. What is origin? Where you have hosted your website. Distribution. This is a name given to content distribution network. This is name given to content distribution network, which consists of collection of edge location. It has two categories, but right now Amazon has merged these two categories. So just for theory, if somebody, if by in exam, if Amazon might ask you, that's why it is used for website. First is web distribution. It is used to just host the website, cache the website, simple HTML pages or PHP pages. And if you have a multimedia content, then we have to configure RTMP, the real-time messaging protocol, which is used to stream the audio video data over the internet, which is used to cache the multimedia content. Edge location are not just read only. Edge location are not just used to read the data. You can write them also, put an object to them. How? In S3 transfer escalation. If you have enable S3 transfer acceleration in your bucket, then you are writing the data on edge location. Cloud front edge location are utilized by S3 transfer acceleration to reduce the latency for upload the data in S3 bucket. Objects are cached for life of time, TTL. You can clear the cache objects, but you will be charged. To delete the cache from edge location is a chargeable action. Amazon do charge you for forcefully deleting the cache from edge location. So we have to be very optimal while selecting the TTL. We can't keep TTL too long. We can't keep TTL too small. If you're keeping the TTL too small, means the edge location is going to hit your website continuously after the cache is deleted. If you have kept TTL, let's 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, the edge location is going to hit your website. Every 5 seconds, each edge location is going to hit your website. If you have kept TTL too long, so if you are updated a content on your website, that content will be delivered after that TTL is going to expire, after that cache is going to expire. If you kept TTL too high, so the content which you have uploaded on your website, it is going to take that much amount of time to refresh the content in edge location.